he's the most exciting because he is vulnerable, because he's not unbeatable. He's got crazy fast twitchies, he can box, but he's so aggressive and he's vulnerable enough to counters that it's actually exciting. Tank got that Tyson-esque fast twitchies and the power, but because he's getting hit in exchange more.
Tank, hold up, Gervonta, you are a... I don't care what anybody says, you can be all that rah-rah thug life and scream and jock your head on Chief Keef Sosa. Man, with your sucking lips, get out of here.
It's a tank! Who can fight a tank? Okay? Once he fires, it's...
When people talk about knockout artists, there are solid punchers, there are feared punchers, and then there's Gervonta "Tank" Davis. For a fighter with such a compact frame, Tank generates unbelievable power that seems impossible until you actually watch him compete. Looking at him outside the ring, you might wonder how someone his size can produce that kind of force. But the instant the opening bell sounds, every question is answered as his explosive punches leave opponents with nowhere to hide.
Tank, to me, man, is a dangerous man, but he's at his most dangerous point when he's looking in your head, he's smiling and shaking his head and walking towards you.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah, you're done.
Because it's almost like he beats you and he's tasting your blood. Oh, you taste good.
As serious as he can be, at basically every point of a promotion, and every point of the beginning of a fight, and then once he starts to crack a smile, it's like, what can you do?
Then you see his opponents collapse as though every signal in their body suddenly shuts off, leaving them completely disconnected from what's happening around them. That's the moment you understand it isn't media hype at all, it's controlled destruction unfolding right before your eyes. Many fighters admit that Tank doesn't resemble the typical knockout specialist. He isn't built like a bodybuilder or covered in oversized muscles. Instead, he carries extraordinary explosive power behind a calm, composed, and confident appearance.
Skill for skill, none of these guys can mess with me, like nobody. Like, I feel like my skills is way better than like Floyd. Like if I'm on my game. Well, I take that back. Probably hand in hand. But skill-wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody. Like, talking about top to bottom list of fighters that's fighting.
Tank never rushes into reckless exchanges or wastes unnecessary punches. He patiently reads every movement his opponent makes, gives them confidence, and allows them to believe they're completely safe. Then, without warning, everything changes in a single moment. That's more than raw punching power, it's a perfectly timed explosion delivered with total control. What truly separates Tank from so many others isn't simply the knockout itself, but the intelligent way he creates the opening for it. As Andre Ward once said about the sport's greatest fighters, they compete like men who have already lived through real hardship.
Man, that dude Gervonta Davis, my first time watching him. I seen him a video on Instagram, man. I looked up his highlights too. That dude's a beast, man. He's great speed, great defense in those uppercuts, man. I'm not a hater, man. If I see somebody I think is good, man, I'll talk good about him. You know, some people they just see boxing and they don't appreciate it. They talk bad about him. But me, I see a good fighter. And
Tank has experienced genuine hardship throughout his life, and that reality shows every time he steps into the ring. He stalks opponents with a grin on his face, casually shaking his head as if he's already telling them, "You made a huge mistake." From that instant, the outcome often feels inevitable. Long before he lands the finishing punch, he's already broken his opponent mentally. One fighter described it perfectly, saying that whenever Tank starts smiling during a fight, it's because he already knows he's completely in control. He's entered that Tyson-like mindset where fear becomes confidence, and the knockout is simply waiting for the right moment.
But Tank, one thing I can say about Tank is he's smart. He can box.
Yes.
And he's explosive.
You believe there's a chance the other guy can win, and that makes it even more exciting, to say nothing of the pace he sets, the level of action, the level of bombs that are thrown by Tank, and as he fights better opposition, the number that will be coming back at him. Yeah, he's guaranteed thrills for.
What makes it even more incredible is that Tank isn't just a devastating puncher. He's a brilliant strategist disguised behind calculated chaos. Fighters who have shared the ring with him often describe his defensive ability as almost unbelievable. Within seconds, he can shift from a tight high guard to a cross guard before flowing into slick head movement, all without missing a beat. It doesn't take rounds or even full exchanges, just a single moment. One subtle slip or slight movement, and your punches cut through nothing but empty space. Most knockout artists sacrifice defense to generate power, but Tank has developed a style that combines both at the highest level.
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight?
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. And like, I thought he died. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Tank, is that true? You almost killed a heavyweight in the ring? That's what he said.
Should be happening.
Because he asked me, how does a 135-pounder take your power? I said, I don't think anybody takes the power.
He regularly makes elite-level opponents throw punches at thin air while forcing them to question every decision they make as the fight unfolds. That rare combination of exceptional ring intelligence and explosive finishing ability is what separates him from nearly everyone competing today. So it's time to stop pretending he isn't among the most complete fighters in boxing. Tank blends Pacquiao's relentless aggression, Mayweather's defensive brilliance, and Tyson's ruthless finishing instinct into the body of a 135-pound fighter. It's almost as though someone designed the perfect boxer and pushed every single attribute to its maximum level.
He can punch, he's a knockout artist. He can box, he's not given enough credit for it, okay? He closes, he finishes. Once he smells blood, he's like a shark in blood-infested waters, Molly. He will finish you, okay? The time has arrived for us to stand down and to start giving Gervonta Davis the love and respect that he deserves. This brother is...
Do you think Floyd did that intentionally? Yeah, for sure. Why? After so much time, after like, I guess, again, after what we think he helped you come into the game, he gave you the spotlight. Like, why would he try to diminish your career?
Because at that time, I don't want to go too deep into it, because I don't want to bring out mine. It was somehow that they were saying that I was messing with his daughter off of the fact that she kept Snapchatting me.
Okay.
She kept hitting me on the Snapchat.
People can argue over resumes and accomplishments all they want, but when you step into the ring with Gervonta "Tank" Davis, you're facing far more than an ordinary boxer. You're standing across from a storm disguised behind a smile. Every jab, counter, and feint is carefully designed to confuse you and make you lose control of the fight. So, if anyone still believes Tank hasn't earned the respect he deserves, they won't have to wait long because he'll prove it himself with another knockout. Then, just when the drama surrounding Tank and Jake Paul seemed impossible to top, Tank made a stunning allegation that sent shockwaves through the boxing community. Have you ever heard something so unbelievable that you had to rewind just to make sure you heard it correctly? That's exactly what happened here. Tank claimed that Floyd Mayweather tried to set him up for failure because of Floyd's daughter. In an instant, the story transformed from a boxing dispute into something that felt like a full-scale family drama.
They sent it to Floyd, and Floyd bugged out.
Okay.
So that's what made it like.
And you think that was a downfall of y'all career? I mean, y'all.
No, it was a downfall. It wasn't a downfall of my career. I mean, our relationship, because it was more things that he was doing. Like,
he scheduled a fight, I think, doing like your fight or something. I don't think they did it, but
stuff like that.
Promoting.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, you know.
Yeah.
You honestly couldn't invent a storyline like this. It felt like the sequel nobody expected, yet somehow everyone wanted to watch. The most surprising part was that Tank didn't come across as angry or resentful while telling the story. Instead, he spoke with the calm confidence of someone who had already moved on, almost as if he were saying, "That chapter is finished because I already know how it ends." You could hear the confidence of a fighter who survived the politics behind boxing and emerged stronger than ever. At the same time, the situation highlighted just how unpredictable life outside the ring can be. Fans often focus on promoters, money, and legacy, but jealousy can sometimes become the most destructive force of all. Floyd watched a fighter he helped develop grow into an independent star, and suddenly the relationship began to feel very different. Tank had reached the point where he no longer needed the strings that once controlled his career, and from that moment forward, the old methods of keeping fighters under control simply stopped working.
People are not watching boxing in the United States of America. That has left a hole that the broadcasters have looked to fill, and they've done this with influencer boxing. which brings a completely different audience to the game. Every promoter and broadcaster on this planet is to blame for this situation that we are finding ourselves in right now. They've opened the door to clowns, and now we've got ourselves a circus. It is a travesty.
Now Tank is focused on building his own empire, choosing the fights he wants, and speaking openly without worrying about losing opportunities. It's chaotic, dramatic, and everything fans have come to expect from boxing, and that's exactly why people can't stop following it. One day you're battling for championship belts, and the next you're fighting to earn respect outside the ring. Somehow, Gervonta Davis continues finding ways to win both battles. But after all the conversations about legacy and becoming the face of boxing, here's the bigger reality. Tank is walking an incredibly expensive tightrope. Taking a fight with Jake Paul could deliver an enormous payday, but sacrificing part of your legacy for a massive paycheck always comes with serious consequences. His explosive power and perfect timing still make opponents fear him, yet he's also a fighter who has only stepped close to true danger on a handful of occasions before choosing not to revisit those matchups in a rematch.